Okay.
So, ask your question.
Tell me about when you began to play different instruments. How did that?
Okay, so I was born playing drums. My mom tells me that I came out the womb with drumsticks. So I started playing drums at the age of 2. I was the main drummer to a church of like 1,000, 1,500 members at the age of 6 or 7. When I was about 9 or 10, I remember a missionary from Guatemala came, and I wasn't even in the building. I was young, so during the preaching, I would just go downstairs and eat, donuts and coffee. It's the morning service, so they usually have like some kind of breakfast for us. And I just went downstairs, started playing with the other kids. And, she called out to the pastor and asked if there was a boy named Aaron in the building. So they went to look for me, and I've never met her before, never spoken to her. And she said that the Lord was wanting to give me all these talents, prophesying to me all these talents to play all the instruments and sing and go around the world singing and having my own tracks and records and so. As a little kid, it was overwhelming because I knew I wanted to do that for the rest of my life, And when I was about maybe 15 or 14, I transitioned to a new church. And I really remember one Sunday, they didn't really have a musician. So pastor really threw me up there. Wow. Without me knowing anything. And I had never really played piano. I mean, I tried, but it sound good at all. I didn't know what I was doing. So I remember I got up there and I played, and I played through a whole service. I don't know what I was playing. I just know after service, people who had been playing piano for years came up to me asking me who taught me, how I learned, and really it was just an overnight thing. The night before, I remember praying about all these talents, about asking God, like, when are you going to give me these talents that you told me about, Really, I had a moment of doubt, wondering if they were even going to come, and the next day the Lord opened the door for that to all come to me. And as of that point on, I really started perfecting my craft, and how I got to the ministry about the beginning of this year, when our worship leader, Dante, who is in the Philippines right now, he found me on Instagram, and we had been talking for like a month or two in regards to me coming to the ministry, and it was perfect timing. I remember me and my girlfriend got the opportunity to come together to the ministry, so now me and her are together leading worship, going around the world. Eddie, I've already been on 2 or 3 of his albums that just came out this year. I recorded his Spanish album, and now, man, we're just traveling around the world, and the Lord has just been faithful. I struggled with pornography and perversion my whole life, like about maybe addicted to pornography for like 8 years or so, and it got really bad, man. It got so bad that I actually told my youth leader, which is my girlfriend's brother, at the time. I said I need an accountability, leader, an accountability partner. I told him I'm struggling with this, and he had to help me, and man, I really struggled with that, but the Lord, I think he pretty much took me out of that, man. And right now, I'm actually in the process of really being whole. Eddie talks to us about, walking away from sin, but yet not being whole. You know what I mean? And He'll make us holy, WHOLLY. He'll make us whole again, and that's the process where I'm at now, just being whole again and not having to deal with the stains of the past. So that's really what I dealt with my whole life, just perversion. But now I'm here, just going around the world, and, by the grace of God, be able to impact lives and tell people about my testimony and give them hope.
Wow, that's awesome.
I am just super grateful to be. I've never had an opportunity like this to sing on a platform like Eddie's for God with guys like this.
Give your name. I forgot to.
I'm sorry. You go first.
I'm sorry. I'm Aaron Chiriboga. That's my name. And
I'm Jesse Klein. And
American Idol.
No. So anyway, growing up, I grew up in church. I grew up a Baptist, actually, and so I went till about I was I don't know, 12, 13, I grew up from a kid going to church, and then I went to middle school and high school and kind of stopped going, backslid. I was just buried in perversion, drug addiction, just like, and I came here, I really came here for the wrong reasons. When I was introduced to the ministry, I thought it would be exciting to use this platform to, you know what I mean? And that happens a lot. You'd be surprised about how much that happens in the ministry. And so I came here and just got smacked in the face by everything Jesus, and I love it. And so my motives have completely changed. My lifestyle has completely changed.
Yay.
And I've been delivered.
Go ahead.
And so that's just a little bit of mine.
Awesome.
Okay. Is it my turn? Okay.
Yeah, what's your name? What's your name?
My name is Joel. And I follow on Facebook, Joel Barnes, but
Our fearless leader.
I just go by Joel.
Where you from?
I'm from Kentucky.
Okay. Kentucky. Okay, good.
I really don't know what you guys want to know.
What's your testimony? What's on your heart? Yeah. Or what's your testimony?
I'll tell you a little bit about my story. I grew up in a Christian home. My mom is saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled.
Yeah, okay. Shabbat.
I remember from the age of like 6 until now, like her waking up at 3 in the morning, just covering me in oil and praying and speaking in tongues, just waking up all greasy, like just sweat on my face. I used to be lighter than this, but like walking all that oil on my face, I got a tan. But no, my dad on the other hand is military, and he wasn't really saved whenever him and my mother were together. So needless to say, he wasn't really around much. He was always going back and forth overseas, like when he didn't have to. It wasn't like we were poor or anything like that. It's just he just didn't want to be around the family, I guess. It was weird. But that went on from the age of like 6 until I was about 16. And a 3-year span of, there was 3 detrimental years. 2009, my mother and my father got divorced. 2010, my mother went through a major surgery that almost killed her because she lost so much blood. And then in 2011, I lost my brother to suicide. So those 3 years back to back was really kind of like a heavy like hit to my family, and it kind of like not necessarily like broke everybody, but pretty much broke everybody down. People were not really functioning for a long period of time. And then it was at that point that I realized that it had to be something better than just the life I was living, because I wasn't really living the standard that it says in the Bible. Like I really wasn't. It was, for me, it was girls, parties, gangster disciples, and all of that. And it just that dark path was not good. So that's when I really started to seek the face of God more and more. And then I really was into music since I was young. So I started getting on a thing called Vine. So I started singing on Vine, which I didn't expect would happen after that to happen. Through a series of events, like he said, Dante discovered me on Vine, and he calls me while I'm at work, and it's like, how would you like to travel with Eddie James? I'm like, I don't even know what that is. Then he told me the song Freedom, and I'm like, okay, I know that song. I know the song Fire. I know Jesus said it, but I don't know who he is. So I go on YouTube and I look up Eddie James service, and just like, yo, I like that whole scenario. So I'm like, yeah, I'll go for it, man. And that was a year and a month ago. Yeah. I had only originally planned to be in the ministry for 2 months.
Come on, Jesus.
My original plan was to be in the ministry for 2 months. But my mom always said, was you want to make God laugh, tell him what you got planned. So now I don't know how long I'll be here. All I know is that I'm here for the long haul, man. I love Eddie, and like I love Eddie because he lives and breathes what he sings and preaches about.
Yeah.
Like I've literally been in a house with him, and he's at 4 o'clock in the morning, wailing and travailing, crying out, just weeping, and like calling out every person's name in the ministry. Every person's name in the ministry, every entity, every leader, people that aren't even in the ministry anymore, he's calling out their names.
Right.
Like the thing is that I don't like that he doesn't sleep.
He'll fall asleep and sit in his chair praying for one
Bible
another.
study every night.
He'll wake up and then fall asleep praying for the next person.
I love it, but I'm just like, Pop, you gotta sleep.
You gotta sleep, man.
Like,
yeah.
there's no way for you to carry on if you're not gonna sleep. But no,
Not
if he wakes up in the middle of the night, he will put a pillow. Depending on if he's in his room or in a hotel, he will either sit in a chair or put a pillow on the floor and pray until he falls asleep.
That's amazing.
Wow.
I'm telling you,
So
like,
good.
I've literally been there. So
He's a father.
So
he's
good.
really a father. Like he's a father of all his kids. I ask him sometimes, it's just like, how do you find the time, the energy, or the strength to care about 90 kids? Like, I know people that break when they have 2 kids. Like,
Right.
But you have 90 children that
Nuts.
you care for, like every day. And he was just like, love. That's the only thing that makes sense. That's the only thing that makes it all make sense. Because why else would you do it? Why else would you give your all and give your life and everything for people that most people would consider misfits? He's like, love. It's the only thing that makes sense. It makes it all worth it.
So good. All right. Well, thanks for sharing.